Sup everyone, hope you're doing well today, and if not, I hope this video helps cheer you up. I'm fascinated by our world, the earth and her wonders, technology and everything in between. I love doing these nerd news segments. I like to see what all the smart people are up to and what they're building. When I started the Jay Rooney Show, I didn't envision talking about politics as much, but that's what gets the most views. So if you would rather me do more episodes like this, make sure you listen to the end. Click that like button and don't forget to subscribe. If you really like it, you can even share this with others. I'll see what you're doing with my content at the end of each month when I pull an analytics report, which tells me what you want more of. So let's check out what's going on today. NASA's been busy. Musk is making improvements to Tesla and possibly bringing his companies together. Asteroids, taking a dip in the ocean, and have you ever read the book Endurance? Today's episode is a fun one. Let's check out our first story. NASA's Webb telescope just captured this stunning image of a distant galaxy. It was pretty cool. You should Google this and look it up. We finally have our first James Webb image. At least it's the first one in focus that James Webb Space Telescope has produced. NASA released the image on March 16, 2022 and shared all the critical mirror alignment steps that have been completed. The James Webb reached its destination orbit in January. From there, the Webb team began aligning the various instruments that make up the Space Telescope. Now, we're finally starting to see just how powerful these instruments can be when they work together. NASA says that the Webb team completed the final phasing alignment stage on March 11th. With that stage completed, all 18 segments of the James Webb Telescope mirrors have been properly aligned to work together. Now that they're completely aligned, the mirrors will be able to pull in light and deliver it to various instruments situated on the spacecraft. In this first James Webb image, we can see a central star shining brightly in the photo. The star is encircled by dots, lines, and spirals. Each of these represents a star or a galaxy in the background. It's breathtaking, and one that showcases just what makes the James Webb such a promising piece of tech for exploring space. This will no doubt produce some really cool pictures. I can't wait to see what else it captures. And if you've never seen a picture of the actual James Webb telescope, you gotta go check it out. It is really cool. More from NASA. NASA just unveiled a new rocket that's taller than the Statue of Liberty. NASA unveiled its new rocket system on Thursday evening. The Artemis rocket system is 320 feet tall, making it taller than the iconic Statue of Liberty. The U.S. Space Agency unveiled the rocket in preparation for the final test before it launches the 3.5 million pound spacecraft on its mission to the moon. I'm not sure what the average size of a rocket is, but this seems on the larger side based on the Yahoo article I read. It'll be fun to watch something like this take off and learn more about it in the coming months. I can't wait to see the photos of it. Staying in space for a second, Fridge-side asteroid hit Earth 2 hours after it was first spotted, NASA says. So we basically had a decent-sized asteroid hit our Earth, and we really didn't see it coming. An asteroid around the size of a refrigerator was spotted hours before it hit Earth's atmosphere. While it wasn't dangerous, it marked the 5th time in history an asteroid was detected right before hitting our planet. On March 11th, an astronomer in Hungary reported to the International Astronomical Union's Minor Planet Center, which confirmed it was the first time the asteroid has been observed. NASA's Scout system, which consistently searches the Minor Planet Center's database for any potential impacts, then it calculated the asteroid's orbit, finding that the asteroid would certainly hit Earth. The system then notified the Center for Near-Earth Object Studies at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Southern California and other asteroid impact systems. Scary how we didn't detect it sooner, but the sky is huge and it's vast. Thankfully, this asteroid was too small to cause any great damage. I didn't see where it landed. Hopefully nobody was hurt. So, I also found this on Yahoo. If everyone sat in the ocean at once, how much would the sea level rise? Now, this is fun to think about. There's a lot of people and there's a lot of ocean. So, hypothetical questions like this, personally, I find really interesting. So, what would happen if everyone on Earth went for an ocean swim at the same time? Using math, you can get pretty close to a real answer. So let's start considering a smaller version of the same question. The amount of space an object, in this case U, takes up is called volume. So the volume of water that overflows the tub is equal to the volume of your body. Now think about a situation where the bathtub is only half full. As you hop in, the volume of your body still pushes the water up. You can calculate how much the water level in the tub will rise with a few simple math equations. Suppose the bathtub is a rectangular box. You can figure out how much water level will rise when you sit down in the tub by considering how much volume you are adding to the tub and what size area you are spreading this volume over. The amount of water level rises is equal to the added volume divided by the area. For bathtub that is 5 feet long and 2 feet wide, the area is 10 feet square. So now let's figure out your volume. To make math easier, let's suppose that you, like the bathtub, are also a rectangular box. Let's say you are about 4 feet tall and 2 feet wide from left to right and 1 feet deep from front to back, basically. The volume of your body would be 4 feet times 2 feet times 1 foot, or about 8 cubic feet. When you sit down, you are adding the volume of approximately half your body to the tub. This means the height of the water level will rise equal to the volume of half of your body, divided by the area of the tub. Using these estimates above, this leads to a water level rise of 4 cubic feet divided by 10 square feet, which equals about 5 inches. You would certainly notice that. Still with me? I'm barely hanging in there myself. So you can think about the oceans as a gigantic bathtub. More than 70% of the Earth's surface is ocean, giving this bathtub an area of about 140 million square miles. To figure out how much the water will rise, we need to know the volume of people sitting in it and divide that by the ocean's area. Currently, there are almost 8 billion people on Earth. Human beings come in all sizes, from tiny babies to large adults. Let's assume the average size is 5 feet tall, a bit bigger than a child. With an average volume of 10 cubic feet, only half of each person's body would be submerged when they sit down, so only 5 cubic feet adds to the water level. With 8 billion people total, you can calculate 5 times 8 billion, which gives a whopping 40 billion cubic feet that would be added to the oceans. But remember, this volume would be spread over the vast area of the oceans using the same bathtub math as before. So we divided the 40 billion cubic feet of volume over the 140 million square miles of the ocean, and the answer, the total rise in sea level, would be about 0.00012 of an inch, or less than 1/1000th thousandths of an inch. If everyone completely submerged themselves, this would double the answer to 0.0024 inches, which is still only about a width of a human hair. It turns out the oceans are enormous, and humans are just a drop in a bucket. Feel small, anyone? Well, only my whole life, basically. I've always told myself it's just gravity pulling down on me harder because Mother Earth likes me so much, she doesn't want me to float away. Our next story is a new supersonic jet will fly from China to New York in 1 hour. A Chinese company is developing a supersonic jet capable of traveling from New York to China in just 1 hour. The company behind the jet, Space Transportation, says that it is developing a rocket with wings, which will work for space tourism and point-to-point travel. So that's pretty cool. In a previous Nerd News segment, we went over several other jets or jet rockets coming out in the near future. Apparently humans really like to go fast, and there's a lot of really fast rockets and jets coming out in the next 5 years. Definitely going to be fun to watch those things take off and see how fast they can go. We still can't, beat the speed of light, and I know some people really want to. Will we ever get there in my lifetime? I don't think so, but you never know. All right, let's check out what we got going on for Musk Monday. Elon Musk's new motor for Tesla is coming out. They're switching batteries. This should help lower the high price points. And Elon Musk reported, don't forget, Elon Musk still uses the drivetrain developed by Nikola Tesla, one of my favorite people. And how the hell did Nikola Tesla figure out that drivetrain way back then? But anyway, Musk plans to improve this as he still wants to get up to 200 miles an hour. Right now, at the speed that the Right now, that's the speed that the drivetrain doesn't hold up at, and the goal behind the upgrades to the drivetrain is to get to that speed and to help lower costs, of course. So I can't wait to learn more about this. I have no doubt it'll improve to the smoothness of the vehicle as if it wasn't smooth already. Teslas are super cool and fun, and it's really, really fun to listen to the upgrades that Musk is always doing. It's really cool that he's a part of the upgrades and hands-on, and I love how he really pushes his cars to, you know, who really needs to drive 200 miles an hour, right? So I love the fact that he pushes things to the limit. I think it's super fun. So could Musk actually put all of his companies together? The visionary CEO gave his strongest hint yet that he may be seriously thinking about consolidating his various businesses' interests into a sprawling corporate empire under one roof. Ever since Musk confined late last week that he was hard at work on Tesla's third master plan 6 years after the previous one, investors have been speculating furiously about what this might entail. Early on Monday morning, so today, he lifted the veil slightly to confirm via Twitter that SpaceX and the Boring Company would play the role in Tesla's strategy going forward. Musk also said he would be scaling the car business to an extreme size, which could be referenced to formalizing his target of selling 20 million vehicles annually by 2030. And representing more than what the industry leaders Toyota Motor Corp and Volkswagen Group together sell worldwide. The gargantuan figure represents Musk's goal of annually replacing 1% of the world's existing fleet of 2 billion combustion engine cars. I've always wondered if Elon would consolidate all of his businesses. It makes sense. They're all somewhat related in terms of using artificial intelligence and already has shared learning models. So why not put them all together under one roof? It definitely makes sense. And yeah, I mean, I think it is safe to say in the next 10 years, we're going to look around and a lot of people will be driving Teslas. I happen to live in a really wealthy area myself, and I swear to God, 1 out of 10 people already drive Teslas. So they're pretty much everywhere I look. Egypt, some more Egypt news. If you haven't noticed, I really like history and Egypt and anything related to our history. So Egypt announced on Thursday the discovery of 5 ancient tombs, marking the latest in a series of discoveries in the vast south of Cairo. So they've been pulling up a lot of stuff, and we've really only dug up, I don't know, 1% of everything under the sand in Egypt. I think that might be accurate. It might not be. Definitely look it up and let me know. Put it in the comment section. Help us all out. So we have so much yet to discover in Egypt and all around the world. I love following along, and I can't wait to see what they discover next. And for my favorite nerd story of this week, this was a book I included in a recent book recommendation video from a week ago. I love this book. It was full of lessons of perseverance and truly told a story of endurance. An article recently came out that said the crew that found Shackleton's Endurance wasn't just looking for a sunken ship. So the book I read was called Endurance, and it's about this. The Shackleton guy was the captain, and he took this crew out. So the article was originally appeared on this site called Outside. So in January 1915, a polar explorer, Ernest Shackleton, and his ship Endurance became icebound in the Antarctic. So what happened next would become legend. Shackleton and his crew watched their ship slowly sink, and they survived a year and a half stranded on the ice, and eventually secured their own rescue with an 800-mile journey in an open lifeboat. Every member of the 28-man team survived. Can you imagine being stuck on a piece of ice for a year and a half? And everybody survived? Now, 106 years later, the wreck has been found in remarkable condition at that, at a depth of nearly 10,000 feet in the Weddell Sea. An expedition team from the Franklin's Maritime Heritage Trust, led by polar geographer John Shears, located the wreck using an underwater autonomous vehicle on March 5th. After a month at sea, they announced the discovery to the world 4 days later. The mission to locate Endurance had other goals, ones that focused on environmental dynamics and scientific research that Shackleton and his men likely could have never envisioned a century ago. The crew spent nearly 6 weeks off the coast of Antarctica aboard this South African ice-breaking polar research vessel, during which time scientists and researchers conducted studies on a wide range of topics, including maritime navigation and how the changing climate has affected ice levels around Antarctica. So I geeked out when I read this the first time. I love this story, and I love the book Endurance. I think it's super cool that they found a ship. If you've never heard of this or haven't read this book, I highly recommend it. So thanks for geeking out with me for a little bit today if you've made it this far. If you do like this show, don't forget to subscribe so you can stay on top of all the various Jay Rooney content and good news for you. It is free. Who doesn't like free? So go ahead and subscribe. It doesn't hurt anybody, and it actually helps me out. And all you have to do is click on something. So go let the nerd out. Jay Rooney Show.